Hey there, this is Scott with Showing Austin. I'm going to take you through the new updates that Auto HDR came out with. Looks pretty great. I just recently did a JPEG versus RAW video, which was on version 2. What I'm going to do for this video is to quickly show you a comparison between version 2 and 3, or V2, V3, with 15 photos I had previously had edited from previous jobs with Auto HDR's version 2, and I re-edited them with version 3. Let's first take a look side by side. The left side is version 2. The right side is version 3 with the yellow highlight. And let's just slowly scroll through and see if you can tell any original differences from the thumbnails before we dive deep into the larger photos. I did a mixture of outside versus inside, and I definitely see some differences myself when I first looked at this. So let's go through them on a one-by-one basis. We're going to go from version 2 to version 3 of each of these photos. This was the version 2 of this photo. This was version 3. I think it was straightened a little bit for one. I think you can see the window pulls. It's a little less vibrant or bright in the background, which is nice because it concentrates on the foreground. The skies are a little bluer, and it's a little less pronounced, which I think is really nice. A little more warmth and refined color as well in the foreground around the stone. Here's version 2. Version 3, I really like how it's taken that background and cleaned it up quite a bit. I also noticed less reflection right here in the window, which I'm very happy about, reflections being a little less pronounced as well. Version 2 here, let's take a look at the windows, reflections on this table. In version 3, the windows are a little less pronounced, table has a little less glare, which I love. Let's look at the floor, same thing with the floor, a little less glare. A little more punchy, a little more vibrancy on the colors. Look at the wall and little photos on the wall. Real nice, looks a little bit more elegant. Here's version 2, outdoors, where I really think it shines. In version 3, a little more vibrant, a little less green, a little more saturation, but a deep saturation, which I think is really high end. Here is version 2 on the window. This, you can definitely tell the reflection on the windows. The window pulls, you can see that reflection on the countertop and floor kind of go away here and make a much more rich photo. It's a huge difference here. Version 2 and 3 here in a wide open room with a lot of whites. The white balance is kind of refined here a little more even brightness and shadows, I should say. A little more even shadows on the ground here, which is very classy. And here as well, you can see the windows make a big difference. The brightness and white balance makes a big difference. It's just an overall well-balanced image on version 3. Here's version 2 in the same room, just a different angle, and the same idea exists there. Here's a simple shot I just shot of a hallway because it's a real modern home. You can see the window in the distance as well as the desk. And the floor here, I want to highlight, it's not as bright and pronounced. I think pronounced is really the best word I have for this here because it's a little more concentrated on the actual room itself. I think it really shines in these outdoor photos. You can notice the bright green here on these bushes is a little less punchy there. I think it's a lot classier, a lot more even, and definitely more natural. There's version 2 again. Also notice it's removed this reflection from the lens. I love the fact that the reflections are better here. Here's again version 2 and version 3. It kept some of the brightness through the windows because that's really what I'm showing here, which is great, but a little more clarity. Love it. Inside here you can see both reflection windows here making a big difference. Really kind of a more refined shadow highlight ratio. Here's a bathroom shot. You can see the reflections are a little more reduced here and refined. A little bit of warmth from the tile. That's the one thing that you may or may not like. I like it here, it's just a little classier looking. And another bedroom shot here where it just keeps showing the windows with a little bit more clarity. I think there's a big difference. If you haven't tried Auto HDR, you can actually get an account with 10 free credits per month. Why not try it? There's also a link in the description below for you to use my affiliate link and get some free credits as well as a 10 credit per month allotment. Thanks for watching.